Today on Play and Display, we'll be asking the question, is this WWE Legends the key for Gen Xers to get back into collecting action figures? So to test this theory out, I decided to go ahead and finally open up my WWE Legends Series 17 Ultimate Warrior. I bought this about a year ago when it first came out. Why am I opening this up now? Why am I thinking about it? I was just going through my collection. I was going through every figure I have. I have a ton of Ultimate Warriors, but the reason why, this one right here doesn't look like the Ultimate Warrior. This is when he first started off as a Dingo Warrior. You got the mustache, you got the shorter hair, and I always want to open it up though. So I did a little price check on this, and it's actually pricing these right now on Ringside Collectible like $9.99 right now. I'll leave a link to that deal down below. Check it out. I'm not getting paid anything for it though. It's a good deal. But I never opened this up, and I gotta find out to myself though, if I can get a figure real cheap, and I'm not into action figure collecting, but I grew up loving wrestling, especially the Ultimate Warrior. We're just getting me back into collecting again. What really sold me on buying this figure, other than being the Ultimate Warrior, had to be the fact he had two heads here though. On top of that, though, you got two extra sets of hands. You got some open, and it looks like you got something to grab the ropes, though, so it's going to look really rad, though. On the side of the box, though, another thing why I love WWE figures, Mattel's art department is really on point. On the back of the box here, we got this really cool bio where he used to wrestle in WCCW. You guys have watched the Iron Claw movie. I highly recommend. It has a big story about that wrestling organization and the Von Erichs. That's where he started off there with Sting. Really cool down below here. The other series, 17 figures. AJ Styles, Ken Shamrock, Shawn Michaels, and the Ultimate Warrior. And right out of the box, I'm looking at an Ultimate Warrior I don't remember as a kid, because I don't remember him with the short hair or the mustache. Only years later when I grew up and I found out that he was also known as a Dingo Warrior. He used to tag team with Sting, though. But for the most part, though, the detail is spot on. He's got this mustache here that's very 80s-like, though. He looks pissed off as hell. And that is the Ultimate Warrior's personality. He's two types of personality. Really pissed off or just batshit crazy. I mean, or sometimes a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, though. But for the other detail on him, though, the Ultimate Warrior, as I remember him, always had like a lot of veins going through his arms. I always thought that was really unnatural. like it looked like he's on the verge of just popping a vessel there. But yeah, the tassels, though, this is really good, though. I'm not a big fan of Mattel soft goods. I have some Macho Man Randy Savages with a soft jacket. I like a lighter, not so dense plastic whenever they use it, though. So the ones on the arms are really decent, though. They don't really bind up too much, or they don't really get in the way of the figure stand up. Another cool feature are these boots. The Ultimate Warrior that I knew in the WWF, the one that won the championship and so on and so on from there, had very colorful boots. Sometimes he has some special boots for certain matches he would do, though, for sure. So for the first accessory I wanted to point out was, obviously the big one, was the head sculpt, though. This is the evolution of the Ultimate Warrior, the Warrior that we pretty much know for the most part for the rest of his wrestling career, though. The only thing that throws me off is the face paint on here. Has like a bluish / yellowish tint to it, though. And this one here has more of a... It does have a blue, but the blues are kind of a little off, but not too much. I think if they would have ditched the red and kind of just put some the yellow on the armbands, or vice versa, maybe put the red on his face paint. But either or, though, this isn't bad. This is something that you're not going to notice at first. And one other cool accessory I have to point out is a different set of hands here. You can shake the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior did back in the day. Just whenever you run the ring, man, you just grab some ropes and just run around the ring shaking the ropes. So, I mean, this is an extra set of hands that could have easily just saved money and not have done. But for fans of the Ultimate Warrior, this is a good accessory. And the last accessory he has are these big hands, though. Why are they so important is because he needs to do his gorilla press finishing move, though. I mean, I don't think he's going to have any problems holding up any wrestler. And with those big open hands, he could hold up Hulk Hogan like it's nothing, man. He's about ready to drop him, do the gorilla press. Onto the mat, though, man. It looks so rad. And the figure holds his pose, too, the whole time. I mean, that's big marks on that. So I didn't start really collecting action figures until about 2 years ago. And it all started with a wrestling figure, the Macho Man Randy Savage. It was the ultimate figure, and I wanted it. It cost a lot, and I said to myself, I'm just getting this figure mostly because look at all the cool stuff that comes with it, though. It cost me roughly about $50, and I'm still happy with it, though. Ever since then, I've had to get every other little wrestler from every certain time period I grew up with. If you are a Gen Xer or you're a millennial and you grew up watching wrestling, this is the perfect figure to start with, though. Even if the Ultimate Warrior is not your favorite figure, the amount of accessories you get for what you pay for it, like I said, it's $9.99 right now on Ringside Collectibles. You can go ahead and enter a promo code. I believe Kyle Pearson covered this figure when it first came out about a year ago. I think we're from the same town, but I believe he has a promo code you can use, and you could knock off a few extra bucks for it too. Like I said, the accessories really sell a figure to me. The fact that it's the Ultimate Warrior is always cool. I mean, I always have some great memories with him though, but the thing about the Ultimate Warrior, he was kind of here and he was gone. And he was gone for a long time. Then he came back briefly again for the WWF, and then he went to WCW very briefly. So he didn't have that staying power to the point where I just really followed him throughout his career. Had some great matches, don't get me wrong. Probably the best freaking Survivor Series promos are definitely with him, man, and some of the greatest matches, though. What I would do with this figure, though, I'm going to go ahead and give it my overall review here in just a second. But for the money, and if you want to get action figures, this is a great way to test it out. And with that being said, let's go ahead and give our final review for the Ultimate Warrior. For the most part, as far as presentation is concerned, detail, on point. Seriously, though. I mean, the tassels, like I said before, worked really well. Only thing I really have concern with is that face paint don't match the rest of the figure. Small little detail, but I still got to deduct a point for it. I feel like Mattel should have just spot this right away. Be like, oh, hey, we should make the face paint match the rest of the figure's attire. It didn't work out that way, but oh well. 1 point deducted for that. 9 out of 10 for that. Posability, holy shit. This thing is fucking awesome. Like, to put Hulk Hogan up, like, did not take long at all. I just literally lift the hands up, just fucking place him up there. He poses really well. I could have WrestleMania 6 again in that ring, like, later on if I want to. And that's the biggest thing about collecting for action figures like this is you get to relive some of these old matches, though. So 10 out of 10 for posability. Really, it's on point. As far as accessories are concerned, like I said before, they gave him plenty of hands. They gave him hands to lift people up. They gave him hands to punch, and they gave him hands to grab the ropes. That was the extra, really. In all honesty, though, I mean, fuck. The fact that you can shake the ropes and just kind of like, if you want to do like a little interesting, have the music play in the background while you're having like your little figure fed, it's awesome though. But the second head, I should say, really just fucking overdid it for me. I mean, you basically get like Ultimate Warrior 2.0 in the WWF at the time. So you get the old school thing if you got plenty of these, but I also got that. Last but not least is the fun factor. Am I going to have fun with this? Because this thing poses so well and it held up Hulk Hogan right away, and I just keep talking about like putting in my fig fed. I got a match I think I want to put together with Mr. Perfect here. So yeah, I'm going to have fun with it though. It's going to be fun. It's just, I don't know who's going to win. I'm not in charge of it. I'm just the guy booking the matches. That's me. But definitely recommend picking this up though. So all in all, great score overall. Get this figure. And that is it, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go ahead and check this figure out. It's super cheap right now on Ringside Collectibles. I keep saying it over and over again because it's a good fucking buy. I'm not getting anything for it though. So long story short though, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Always like and subscribe if you do. Really, seriously, man. That means like, boom. Big heart pump back to you in return. Until then, guys, take care.